Every Stitch Counts is going official. What's up, you guys? My name is Charlotte. I'm a knitter and a maker based in the Seattle, Washington area, and I live in the city with my dog, Lady. I am so excited to announce with everybody that I will be officially launching Every Stitch Counts as a small business. This has been such a long journey when I think of it. Like when I think of the very first video that I posted, just sitting on the floor of my old apartment with my iPhone, with no equipment, no anything at all, just me and all the handmade items that I had made. And it has blossomed into this beautiful community of people that I just am so excited to continue to grow with. I'm just so grateful. I want to bring you all along with me today on my day. It's the Friday before Easter and work is slow because a lot of people are like taking off for the weekend, so I don't have a crazy busy day today, and I have quite a few things that I want to do today for the said business launch. And so I will bring you all along with that. I want to give you guys a little bit of some of the life updates, what's going on, when I'm going to be trying to launch, what you can expect to find in my shop, and just little bits and bobs from my life. Lady's gonna come with us. It's gorgeous weather today and I'm just in a very good mood today. I don't know like what's going on with me. Maybe I've just like eaten breakfast and gotten enough protein in the morning, but I am feeling good, okay? If you want to come along for any of that, grab your knitting, grab whatever the heck you are working on, or maybe just yourself if you want to just watch me do stuff. Either way, I'm happy to have you. If you haven't done so already, please like and comment on this video. And if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button, follow along for my journey. It's really, truly crazy to me to look back at like my first video to now and where I started, where I am now, and like where I'm now hoping and planning to go. It just is a really beautiful thing to get to document and kind of capture one's life in this way. I am just so grateful for this community and for the opportunity to do this and for the opportunity to share my life in this way with all of you. So let's go have some fun today.
Are you ready to have a good day? Yeah.
I have finished my breakfast and now it's time to take this outside. So let's go for a quick little walk. I was just made aware that my last work call of the day got canceled, and so I am taking full advantage and getting out for a little walk with Lady before I get back to like everything else that I want to do today. And I just have to say that I think it's so funny. This has been like the first really warm weekend we've had in Washington this year. And the way that everyone's personalities just start to blossom when the sun and general life comes back to the state just makes me chuckle every time. Like everyone's outside right now, lathering up in sunscreen when the UV is like at a 4.5 or something. It's just really funny to me.
Lady, come here. Come. Oh, what's that? What's that?
So we are finally back from my walk. Lady and I are now enjoying, well, I'm enjoying just a nice refreshing drink. I've turned the oven on because I want to actually bake some of the prototypes that I'm testing out. I have been so busy trying to get like all the back end stuff of what I need to actually launch a small shop and like website up and running that I haven't had much time to really be creative with like what I'm going to sell. I originally first designed and made these like little lemons, which have really come a long way. This was actually the very first like kind of thing that I made, and I will show you. This was actually the very first thing that I ever made with polymer clay. So going from like this thing to now these, I think is actually pretty crazy. I'm much happier with how these are looking now. I have a couple other prototypes that I'm really excited about. I think I've settled on this shape for my little frog dude. And then I have really been loving these little octopi that are just so tiny and so cute. I did a blue and a pink one of these. And again, these have changed quite a bit from like when I first originally made them, and I'm really happy with how they're looking. These are unbaked, so the oven's on now and I'm gonna bake these and then glaze them and see how they end up looking. I think what I want to do as far as like actual products and how I'm gonna put it all together is I really like the idea of having like a main stitch marker, like a main beginning of the round marker. And then because most people knit raglans, or that's like very popular, I would have like 3 accent markers to go with whatever that main marker would be. I'm not quite sure how that will work out as far as pricing goes. These little guys do take a really long time to make. Like they're very tiny, very fiddly, and it's a significant amount of work just to make one of them. So let me know in the comments what you think you would be like inclined to buy, if you would want a whole set of handmade stitch markers, or if being able to purchase just a single specialty like handmade cute stitch marker would be more appealing to you. I would be really curious to know what you think about that. Like I said, there's been a lot of other like business things that I've needed to do, and so I'm gonna work on some of that now. I need to activate my business debit card. I think I need to buy a printer, which is crazy to think that I've lived this long. Like I'm almost 29 years old and I have never bought or really owned a printer personally, and I think it's time that I do that. So that'll be a pretty like big purchase. So if you want to come along for moral support with that, that'd be great. By that time, the oven will be preheated and those little guys will be baked, and then we'll glaze and we'll chat some more about what's been going on with life and then get some knitting time in. Oh, so bright. This is fun. Ah! I thought that while I wait for my little charm clay things to bake, I would show you all the progress that I've made on my Monday sweater, or like one of my Monday sweaters. This is the one that I'm knitting up in Jill Draper's Kingston yarn, and I've made decent progress on this so far. I'm almost done with the first sleeve. I think I'm done with the body. I haven't bound off yet in case I decide I want it a bit longer, but she's like coming right along. I think I need to add maybe 3 more inches to the sleeve before I start doing the ribbing, and then she will be like well on her way. I'm really happy that this is like turning out to be an okay fit, because for context, I did not pay attention at all when I was making this. I am like, my gauge is off. It's technically a way smaller size, like in terms of stitch count, than anything in the actual patterns. And so I've just been trying it on as I go and like making adjustments as I need to, and kind of just fudging everything and just knitting on it. And it seems to be working out okay for me. Right now it's hitting me at like the top of my hips, which I think by the time it blocks out, it will like lengthen a bit more. So I think I'm happy with the length of it all so far, but I'm still waiting for my samples to finish baking, and so I'm gonna just do some knitting and hang out with Lady while I wait for that. For context, in terms of the things that I've been watching while I'm knitting, because I know all y'all are watching TV and stuff while you knit, I've been rewatching all of the I Love Lucy shows. I grew up watching that show, and I still find everything in that TV show to be so hilarious. So if you haven't watched some I Love Lucy, I highly recommend. The fact that it still is like so funny and has so many like little nuggets of truth and just so much to say while being so funny. I just think it's a work of genius. I think Lucille Ball was a genius, a pioneer of her time, and really like just is an amazing woman. The more I learn about her, the older I get, the more I love her, and I've always looked up to her. So I'm gonna watch I Love Lucy while I knit.
아무 계획 없이 떠나볼래 다 내려놓고 괜찮을 거야 We'll be back 멀리 날아오르자 No worries 어디 가였어
So I am finally sitting down to glaze my pieces. I think they came out so nice. I'm really excited to see how the glaze like changes them, because I'm experimenting with translucent clay for the very first time. I don't really know like the extent of like the different effects that can give me. So I'm really excited to test some of these out. I haven't really gotten into like the different glazes or resins or anything like that to seal these. So I've just been using the Sculpey gloss glaze, which is like, it's pretty affordable, and it's just the first thing that I purchased. But while I sit here and do this, I wanted to fill people in and kind of give some context for timeline, why I'm doing this, and maybe just a bit more context as to like what to expect in the future and what has really inspired me to do this. Long story short, a couple months ago, probably about 2 months ago at this point, I was experiencing like chronic elbow pain. For those of you that don't know, I was an avid horseback rider for most of my childhood. I sustained two very significant injuries from that sport, my elbow being one of them, and it finally like caught up to me. I wasn't able to knit, I was experiencing a lot of nerve pain, and all of my normal activities had to stop. I was working out all the time, had to stop that. I was knitting a ton, had to stop that. And it just really disrupted my life and kind of what my life had been like up to that point. All that to say, I have been trying to figure out what's wrong. I think finally know what's wrong, and I actually will be getting surgery in a couple days on my elbow to fix the problem. Essentially, I have a nerve that's getting snapped over like a bone chip from one of those old injuries. And that is what's causing all my pain. It should be a pretty simple surgery. Surgery was obviously not my first choice for like how I was gonna have to deal with it, but they're pretty confident that that's the problem and there isn't really a long-term treatment solution that doesn't involve surgery for this kind of problem. So while surgery wasn't my first choice of what I wanted to do, I am happy that I have a diagnosis of any kind and that I'm not just like stuck with no answers anymore. That being said, that injury is kind of what started this whole polymer clay business. I wasn't knitting, I wasn't going to the gym, and I just was in pain, and so I wanted to try to find something that was going to be a bit easier on my body, and the polymer clay kind of came out of nowhere. I just thought it would be a fun, cute thing to try, and then lo and behold, it ended up being like very fun. I really enjoyed it, and I started making little knitting notions, and now here we are. Enough people commented and said very kind things. It just gave me the confidence to like take that step and actually do something, which means so much to me. We hear so much on the internet now, just in general, like we're always getting marketed at, we're always getting told what to think, what to believe, that what we think and what we believe is wrong, and everyone just is fighting with each other, honestly, and we don't realize, I think, now that we're in this world, this internet age world, like how impactful our words are, because we hear everyone's voices, and so we kind of just tune everything out. And I just want everyone to know that like the words that everyone said to me that were encouraging and positive and like so kind, like they mean so much to me, and they don't just get lost in all the noise, and our words matter. And so it was just so encouraging to be able to get like that validation from people, especially for something that I've always been kind of like self-conscious about. I've always known myself to be a very creative person, but I've never considered myself like good, and I've never really found the artistic mediums that really, I think, let my skills truly shine. And I still don't know that I have, but I certainly have been deeply like touched and impacted by everyone's kind words. I figured that even if I only ever sold like 2, that it would all be worth it and it would all be fine, because I think it's important to have something that you're working towards, whether that's a goal, whether it's, you know, you're raising kids or you have a job that you really care about. I think it's important to have something in your life that is propelling you forward. I guess I just am taking this like very small, kind of like insignificant like thing, right? Of like, yeah, I'm gonna open up like an online shop and I'm gonna try to sell like some of my little stitch markers. Like that's such a small thing, but it's so easy to get caught in this world of like, yeah, well, I'm not good enough, or it's too late for me, the market's saturated, or, you know, all these things that aren't true. And I really want to speak to maybe the people who thought life would be like in a very different place right now, and they're finding that they're in a different place than they thought they would be in. it's okay to not know what to do, and it's okay to like try things. I'm almost 29. I work a corporate 9 to 5, but before that, I was a professional chef. I had no intention of ever entering the corporate workforce. I wanted to work a creative job my whole life. And then COVID happened, and that whole dream kind of shifted, and I found myself at the end of the pandemic, single, no real possibility of making like a affordable living in the career that I was in. So I turned to like, well, I have to make enough money to live, and I have other goals that are more important than just this job. And so I sacrificed maybe my passion at that time for a practical job. And I know a lot of people who have done that. It's a very hard thing to do. It can be hard. I have always wanted kids. I've always wanted to be married, and to see your friends like moving in that direction and, you know, having those things. And now they don't just have babies, like they have kids. They're getting older, and it can be so hard to not just feel like you're behind, or you're doing something wrong, or there's something wrong with you, or you're undateable, or, you know, you're doomed to work this job for your whole life. And I just want to say that, like, while I don't know everyone's situation, and we don't ultimately have, like, we don't know what's going to happen, right? But it's not too late, and I'm choosing to believe that, like, I'm not in the wrong place. I haven't made a mistake. I'm not undateable. It just hasn't happened yet. And because of that, like, I have different opportunities at my doorstep to do. And it would be a waste if I was to just waste that opportunity. And so I really hope that even if just one person watches this and sees this, that like maybe they can take that step to maybe do something that they wouldn't have done before, or really embrace the space of life that they're in, even if it's not what you want. So much of that is mind over power, you know? And so much of my thoughts and feelings around like turning Every Stitch Counts into a business was not something that was planned at all. I started this channel, you can still see my first video. I started this channel just wanting to talk about my knitting, and it's like blossomed into something that I had no idea it could, and there still is so much left to know and to learn and to see. And I had no idea that, you know, the opportunities that I've had, even just to express myself and develop my own opinions and thoughts and feelings about myself and my craft and my hobbies, would be here through doing something that was like very scary initially. So knitting will always be my first love, and it'll always be something that I will do and make time for. And I'm still gonna post lots of content about knitting. I am also really passionate about lots of other things, and I want to share that because I think that a lot of people, especially young women who are maybe in a similar place to me, or maybe you are married, or maybe whatever stage of life you're in, life just hasn't gone the way that you thought it would go or you hoped it would go. And that can just be a very hard thing to embrace. And so this is me like trying to embrace that and trying to take advantage of the opportunity and the time that I do have, because I feel I would regret if I like went through life just working at a job I know that I'm not passionate about, and then never having like taken the step to try or do anything else that felt risky, you know? Because all of life is a risk. Every choice you make is a risk, and it doesn't really matter what it is. Like, you're gonna be giving up one thing in order to pursue what you choose to pursue. I'll end on like, I am just very excited to give more details about my shop launch. I'm hoping to release everything in like June or July. I'm not quite sure how that will all play out with my incoming surgery and like recovery. By the time you see this video, I will have had surgery and will be recovering. I'm not quite sure when I'll be able to to get back to making and doing things. I think the full recovery will take about 3 months. But again, I'm taking it as an opportunity to get this taken care of, do all the behind the scenes things that aren't making or making videos, then get to just really enjoy sharing and seeing what comes of it. A big thank you to everyone who has supported me. It really means just so much to me. So thank you. They came out so cute. I am so happy with how they came out. I can't decide which I like more. If I like the lemons with the 2 little white dots in their eyes, or if I like them with just 1. I think I like them with just 1. I also really like how this pink octopus is turning out. It's mostly translucent clay with a little bit of pink in it, and it's still drying, but I think she's gonna look more jelly-like compared to the frog or the blue octopus. So all in all, they're so cute. I'm just really happy with how these came out. I'm gonna continue to let these dry, and then I will hopefully get some better shots of them in the sun so you can see what they actually look like. So I'm gonna officially sign off of the video, talking to camera. I'll end the video with just whatever else I get myself up to today. I just want to give a huge thank you to everybody for watching and for following along with my journey and all the changes that I feel like are happening. It's a bit up and down and all over the place sometimes, I feel. And I'm still planning on making lots of videos dedicated to knitting, and I'm just gonna also include some of these other things as well. So I hope that you are all doing well and that you're all getting to make and do the things that you want to make. And I hope that you enjoy this weekend and whatever else, you get yourself up to in the coming days. I will be sure to keep you all up to date on all things Every Stitch Counts, all things related to my knitting, and I will catch you all on the next one. Bye.